You know, traveling alone can be really great. It teaches you so much about yourself.
I guess it helps you learn to make decisions on your own.
Exactly. Plus, you meet all sorts of people when you're solo. Last year I went to Japan by myself and met this guy from Canada. We ended up hiking together for a few days.
That sounds nice. But what if you feel lonely?
Well, that happens sometimes, but usually, there are plenty of ways to connect with others, like joining tours or staying in hostels where everyone is social.
But isn't it risky being alone in new places?
It can be, but most of the time it's fine. Just take some basic precautions like researching before you go and keeping your phone charged. I mean, I've stayed in some pretty sketchy areas and been just fine.
What about the costs? Doesn't it get expensive?
Actually, it can save you money because you don't have to worry about splitting costs or making compromises on spending. And finding deals is easier when you're flexible and going alone.
So, how do you deal with the planning part? I always end up delaying things.
Set small goals and stick to them. Like book one thing each week leading up to your trip. It's less overwhelming that way. Plus, there are lots of online tools now that make organizing super easy. Speaking of organizing, one big challenge is dealing with unexpected changes. Like when your flight gets delayed or canceled. It can be tough to handle everything by yourself.
Yeah, I can imagine. What if you get lost somewhere?
Getting lost is another big issue. Without someone else to help figure out directions, it can be really stressful. But using maps and apps can definitely help. I once got lost in Paris but found my way back thanks to Google Maps.
That sounds helpful, but what about safety concerns at night?
Safety is a huge concern, especially at night. You need to stay alert and avoid areas that look unsafe. Always let someone know where you are and keep your phone handy for emergencies.
It seems like there's a lot to think about.
There is, but the key is to prepare well and trust your instincts. Also, having a backup plan for most situations can really ease your mind while traveling alone. Speaking of preparing well, have you thought about the best places to visit when traveling alone?
Not really. What are some good spots?
Well, cities like Tokyo and Barcelona are fantastic for solo travelers. They have lots of activities and a vibrant nightlife that makes it easy to meet people.
That sounds interesting. Are there any quieter places?
Absolutely. Places like New Zealand or Iceland offer beautiful landscapes and outdoor adventures. You can hike, camp, and explore nature without feeling overwhelmed.
I see. How about in Asia?
Thailand is amazing for solo travelers. The locals are very friendly, and there are plenty of hostels where you can meet other travelers. Plus, the food is incredible.
That does sound appealing. Any tips for first-time solo travelers?
Definitely do your research beforehand. Check out blogs and forums to get insights from others who have traveled alone. And always pack light so you're not bogged down by too much luggage. Speaking of tips, safety is super important when you're traveling alone. Have you thought about any specific safety measures?
Not really. What are some good ones?
First off, always keep copies of your important documents like your passport and ID. Don't carry them all with you. Leave some copies in a safe place.
That makes sense.
Another tip is to use trusted transportation services. Apps like Uber or local ride-sharing services can be safer than hailing a random taxi on the street.
Good point. What about staying in touch with family or friends?
Exactly. Let someone know your plans and check in regularly. You could even share your itinerary with them so they know where you are supposed to be at any given time.
That would definitely give peace of mind.
And it's also smart to learn a few key phrases in the local language, like asking for help or telling someone to call the police. It can make a big difference if you ever find yourself in an uncomfortable situation. Speaking of uncomfortable situations, meeting new people can actually make traveling alone a lot more fun. Have you thought about how to do that?
Not really. How do you usually meet people while traveling?
Joining group tours or activities is a great way. Whether it's a cooking class, a hike, or even a pub crawl, you're bound to meet fellow travelers who share similar interests.
That sounds like a good idea.
And staying in hostels is another great option. Hostels often have communal areas and organize events where you can mingle with other guests easily.
I see. What about just walking around the city?
Walking around can be great too. Strike up conversations at cafes or restaurants. Sometimes just saying, "This dish looks amazing" to someone nearby can start a nice chat.
That could work.
Plus, social media groups and apps designed for travelers can connect you with locals and other solo travelers looking to hang out or explore together. It's all about being open and friendly.